This is a weekly summary of the war report from October 2 to October 9, 2021. This is the war report as of October 2, 2021. TPLF is adding more fighters from Shirei into Adi-Arike area and is forcing Amhara youth that are left in the city to fight for them. In Weekl city, Tigray rebels have controlled District 04 and 05. There is a large division of Ethiopian National Defense Force (ENDF) in the area, but they have not engaged Tigray rebels. In the Khan area, top TPLF fighters have been sighted and they are using Birchikan restaurant as their base and training camp. As mentioned yesterday, Gashina has become their center of gravity. It has become their command center. From here is where they distribute fighters to various locations into Weekl. In the Kobo region, since yesterday, the Ethiopian Air Force has taken several airstrikes, decimating thousands of Tigray rebels. Witnesses stated that they saw several hundred dead bodies of Tigray rebels being loaded on several trucks and transported to Tigray region. Also, in Kobo, Amhara militias and farmers are fighting for their survival. In a place called Hamyasit located between Gashina and Istaish, Tigray rebels are giving training at a school called Dega Hamyasit. In the Benshangul region, Medical, in Al-Mal district, TPLF camp has been completely destroyed with 45 Tigray rebels killed and large arms such as radios, landmines and ammunition being captured. A large number of Oromo nationalists, OLF, have graduated in Oromo region. Thank you. Tigray spies that had entered Gondar through Chilga and Himera have been captured and apprehended by authorities. After Khmant people demonstrated supporting and defending Khmant and Amhara unity, Khmant rebels got divided. An internal disagreement among the rebels led to a gunfight, where several of them got killed and wounded. In addition, 8 top Khmant leaders were captured in Weekl, Gondar. 2 of the leaders' names are Masriya Shah Alamu and Mulugeta Eshatu. In the Afar front, Tigray rebels attempted to capture Baharle, but were defeated resoundingly, losing close to 1,000 of their fighters. They also attempted to capture Ebola airport, but were defeated. In Weekl, Tigray rebels are trying to enter Wegaltena through another route through a district called Darira, which is found in Dawand County. They have been advancing towards Wegaltena for a week now, but are in fear of the large military division that is stationed there. They have therefore camped at a church called Balegzi Habahir. The ENDF is doing some light offensive in the area. Furthermore, they have been reinforcing their numbers by bringing more fighters from Tigray. So far, they have added more fighters in places such as Kabero Meda, Khan, Hamasit, Istaish, Taja, Misfinya, Dubokatuma, and Debeko. In Arbiat and Atewuha, they are training and digging trenches. In the Gashina area, the ENDF has taken a light offensive firing artillery at TPLF positions. In Amduark, several Tigray rebels have been killed. In Kobo, in a place called Karale, Ethiopian Air Force has decimated 6 TPLF trucks full of ammunition, and it has also hit an arms depot storage. In Mursa, Are, several TPLF arms depot have been destroyed and 107 Tigrays have been killed. Tigray rebels have built major camps in Grangamba, Debeko, Dabo Katema. TPLF has moved close to 1,000 fighters from Wildia to Tarife. Lastly, Tigray rebels are camped in Akit in a governmental compound. This is the war report for October 5, 2021. After Ethiopian Air Force bombed several TPLF camps and arms depot in Abu Warre, Mursa, Tigray rebels incurred heavy losses. They are now forced to hide their weapons. They have camouflaged their weapons with tree shrubs. Also, in Mursa, heavy fighting has been reported in places of Haro and in Selekula school. The rebels have incurred heavy losses on that front as well. In Istaish city, they are using Temtemot Primary School as a camp, and they have also positioned artillery in and around the school. In the direction of Gashina and Mekhet, the Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENDF, is intensifying its artillery fire on rebel positions. Also, in the Gashina, Khan, and Istaish area, the rebels are increasing their activity. They are transporting their fighters constantly from one town to another. In Wadla County, in Wugada district, they are taking positions and preparing. 3 trucks full of rebels along with ammunition have been sighted in the area. In the same county, they are adding more fighters in the Dalenga district. In Kong town, top TPLF fighters have been sighted and they are still staying at Birchikan restaurant. In the Arbit direction, they have amassed lots of fighters in that area, possibly preparing for an offensive. Lastly, they have moved their doctors from Lalibela and Amdwerk to Gashina. It is likely that they are expecting heavy casualties. This is the Daily War Report for October 6, 2021. Top TPLF leader Tsadkan has been seen in the Gashina area. Amhara witnesses say he has stringently instructed Tigray rebels to continue wearing civilian clothes and to blend in with the local Amhara population. He has also given a directive that Amharas who do not cooperate or comply with TPLF operations are to be killed. Many Tigray rebels are coming in from Koram and Alamata pretending to be displaced Amharas. They claim they are in need, and when aid is given to them, they secretly send off the aid to Tigray rebels in other districts and cities. They have threatened Amharas that caught on to their scheme by warning them that, if they talked, they would have their family members killed in TPLF-controlled areas. Ambulance vehicles are being used as a means to transport contraband for TPLF. Sources say they are particularly transporting contraband between Kobo to Desi. In the Delanta area of Tarife, Tigray rebels are adding more fighters, and in a Cat area they are building trenches. They have camped at a governmental office. In Mersa and Sarinka, the Ethiopian Air Force had destroyed several TPLF arms depot, vehicles, and a tank. In and around Workit Kobo, Amhara militias have killed 26 TPLF rebels and injured scores. In the operation, the militias have been able to possess 35 AK-47s, 3 sniper rifles, and 1 machine gun. This is the War Report for October 7, 2021. The Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENDF, using its air force has continuously hit several TPLF positions in Makit and Arbit. Witnesses say that Tigray rebels have taken extreme heavy losses, that they are burying their dead fighters in mass graves. On the ground, the ENDF is shelling their positions with artillery and mortars, and it is slowly advancing. Some of the rebels have retreated from Mekit to Weykita city. The ENDF has instructed Amhara civilians to leave the city of Weykita, Ancham, Atewuha, and Wenjil cities immediately. In Lalibela, the rebels are deploying more fighters to Sakota and Gashina. Suffering heavy losses from airstrikes, the rebels have ordered Amhara youth to leave Gashina area claiming that they are the ones providing intelligence for airstrikes. They have ordered only children and the elderly can stay in the city. Yesterday, it was reported that the rebels were bringing doctors into Gashina. Today it is reported that they've opened up a temporary clinic in the area. In the Khan area, TPLF has graduated its rebels in a government compound. In Don County, 47 armed Tigray rebels that were trying to spy have been killed by Amhara militias. The remaining rebels have retreated and are hiding in a nearby cave. For the last week, the rebels have deployed several fighters into Delanta County, and they are still deploying more fighters. They have positioned single tanks in Tarife, Showaber, and Tsehai Maucha. The war in Delanta started yesterday, and TPLF is taking losses. This week, the rebels attacked Fanti Rasu County in Afar, but they were quickly thwarted, and they have retreated. However, it is now trying to capture districts of Kablati, Haura, Deba, and Betewa in the northeastern part of Afar. It is using heavy weaponry. In the Mersa front, the rebels have taken heavy losses again, as Ethiopian Air Force continuously bombs several of their positions. The bridge that was broken in Amdework has now been fixed, and ENDF is advancing in the area. In Metekel County, Amhara region forces were ambushed by OLF, TPLF, and GUMS rebels. Amhara region force lieutenant named Abebe was killed during the ambush. This is the War Report for October 8, 2021. In Gondar front of Tulamt, Tigray rebels are forcing Amhara youth to fight for them, and they are also abusing their family members by demanding livestock and cattle. The Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENDF, has controlled parts of Weykita. ENDF controls the following large areas: Ras Amba, Tikwar Ambessa, Weykita Gubrahil, Ancham School, Sendich Mariam, and Fintur Iyasus. In Tikwar Ambessa, in Weykita, TPLF takes heavy loss after ENDF bombed the area repeatedly, and there is unconfirmed report that several Tigray leaders may have been killed in the attack, and that witnesses claim they have seen 2 of them buried at Kaduna Meheret Church. The rebels have sent 5 trucks full of reinforcement from Gashina and Taja to Arbit. In the Khan, several trucks full of fighters have been sent to Dalenga area. Also in Khan, it has been repeatedly stated that TPLF leaders are using Burdikan restaurant as their command center. On the Kobo front, in areas of Worke, Gibi, and Gobe, Amhara militias and farmers are intensely fighting Tigray rebels. However, rebels have brought in BM rockets and artillery near Kulkulpur, in Gobiye. Amhara militias and Amhara farmers have requested air support to destroy the BM rockets and artilleries. The militias have said that they have killed hundreds of rebels and have captured 7. They have also stated that the individual that was giving intelligence to Tigray rebels and working with them is named Afwerk, and his family members are in Desce city spying for TPLF. In Weekl County of Gashina, 2 tanks TPLF had stationed in the areas have been destroyed. In Dalenga district, near a school, several trucks have been seen carrying newly recruited Tigray fighters and they are moving them to a near area called Machiga. Also, in Weekl, TPLF is adding more fighters to the area. In Mursa, in areas called Zufanabo and Baharo, TPLF has camouflaged heavy weapons in the trees. In the Afar front, in Berhale area, the rebels are using artillery on Afar herders and regional forces. The rebels want to control Asdina, Shahi, and Gobay mountains in order to get into Afar areas. They have wounded 6 Afar herders. Afar forces are asking for this area to be strengthened. On the road from Wuldia to Gashina, TPLF is sending lots of fighters towards Ambassal, where many of the rebels are camped. In Aina Bugna, 11 Tigray rebels have been killed. In Amduark, ENDF is in control of Bulandura areas. In Jarota, Habru County, an airstrike killed scores of rebels. This is the war report for October 9, 2021. 16 trucks full of Tigray rebels from Mekelle have dropped off fighters in Gashina, Hamyasit, and Dalenga areas. Many of them are the elderly, young children, and women. They were brought to Amhara region with the promise that they would only be there to harvest Amhara farms to take with them to Tigray. But upon their arrival, they were made to train as fighters and a dispute ensued where they said they did not want to fight and that they were there for the harvest. 6 Tigray rebels were killed as a result and 5 of them gave themselves up to Amhara militias. The rebels have controlled Sarekula area in Dalenga. ENDF has destroyed 2 tanks on Gashina mountains. Also, the rebels have been transporting fighters from Gashina to Debeko as well as settled fighters in the area between Arbit and Atewuha. However, the ENDF has ceaselessly attacked their position, killing and wounding several rebels. The ENDF has also continued to bomb Arbit. In Sarinka, the rebels are using Garado School as a training and control center. In Amduark, in Bulandura areas, there is intensified fighting going on. In Welkayat, the rebels are attempting to attack from the Shere front. It is now confirmed 3 top TPLF leaders have been killed in Gashina and buried in Kaduna Merit Church. The rebels are attempting to use beehives as a war tactic. Witnesses say they have collected scores of beehives in Dalenga areas. Also, the rebels have moved fighters from Dalenga to Chena area. In Wadla, Mechig area, they have added more reinforcement. In Dalanta County they have controlled Bolka Abalabanos districts. In Kobo Worke area and Mursa, ENDF airstrikes have hit several rebel positions. In Mursa, they tried to capture Zayaitbur, but were bombed profusely, where they were forced to retreat. Thank you for watching and please subscribe.